Hello, world. This is Tommy Hagewood coming to you from Leesburg, Florida, the lakefront city in Lake County in the Sunshine State. It's 81 degrees on the way to 91. It'll feel like 102. This is Tuesday, July the 21st, 2020. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I have some good news and some bad news. The bad news is the devil is much stronger than we are, and we on our own are incapable of dealing with him and defeating him. Listen to how the Apostle Paul describes the struggle we're in against him and his evil forces in Ephesians chapter 6 and verse 12. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. On our own we have no clue and do not know how to fight these terrible enemies who are being led by the devil. The good news is we do not have to deal with the devil and his cohorts on our own. God limits the power of the devil, and God will work with us if we let him to defeat this sinister enemy. First, we need to understand that Satan is not all-powerful, nor is he omnipresent nor omniscient. He is a created being, and he's not God. We have no power on our own to defeat him, but he's no match for Almighty God, who is omnipotent, omnipresent, and omniscient. He can only do what God allows him to do. We learn this from Job chapter 1 and verse 12, which states, "And the Lord said to Satan, Behold, all that he has is in your power, only do not lay a hand on his person. So Satan went out from the presence of the Lord." Also from Job 2 and verse 6, which states, "And the Lord said to Satan, Behold, he is in your hand, but spare his life." Again, Satan could only do what God allowed him to do. God will not allow Satan to tempt us beyond what we're able to bear. The Apostle Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians 10, 12 through 13, "Therefore let him who thinks he stands take heed lest he fall. No temptation has overtaken you except such as common to man, but God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you're able, but with the temptation will also provide the way of escape that you may be able to bear it. Satan may hold the thermometer, but God controls the thermostat. God will always provide a way of escape so that we may bear any temptation that Satan throws at us. That may not be the easy way, it may not be the popular way, but it will be a way of escape so that we will be able to bear the temptation without sinning. We also have the assurance of knowing that God is faithful. This is demonstrated repeatedly through the entire Bible. God has never once reneged on any promise he ever made. God has never been incapable or unwilling to do what he promised to do in his word. Also, unlike man, it's impossible for God to lie, as Paul stated in Titus chapter 1 and verse 2. Peter gives us the following assurance in 2 Peter 2 and verse 9. "Then the Lord knows how to deliver the godly out of temptation and to reserve the unjust under punishment for the day of judgment." John also comforts us with the following words to the faithful church of Christ in Philadelphia in Revelation 3 and verse 10. "Because you have kept my command to persevere, I will keep you from the hour of trial, which shall come upon the whole world to test those who dwell on the earth." The devil may be a powerful adversary, but he's no match for God and for his people. God limits what he may do, and God protects his people. We just need to make sure we're on which side we're on, God's or Satan's. We're either children of God or we're children of the devil. There's no other option. 1 John 3 and verse 10 states, "In this the children of God are manifest and the children of the devil. Whoever does not practice righteousness is not of God, nor is he who does not love his brother." John is writing to Christians who've been baptized into Christ for the remission of their sins, according to Galatians 3:27 and Acts 2:38. Paul warned in Romans chapter 11, verses 20 through 22, that Christians who fail to continue in God's goodness will be cut off from God. In Hebrews 3 and verse 12, it states, "Beware, brethren, lest there be in any of you an evil heart of unbelief in departing from the living God." Friends, we cannot win against the devil unless we're on God's side, which means we have been cleansed by the blood of Christ by being baptized into his death, as Paul stated in Romans 6, 3 through 5, and we're living a faithful Christian life. Those who obey the Lord will be saved by his abundant grace and mercy, and those who do not obey the Lord are playing a losing game they cannot win. Until next time, remember to search the Scriptures, to serve the Lord, and to share the gospel with others. It's a message that's too good to keep. This is Tommy Hagewood wishing for you a very pleasant good day.